This is Kenny's Guitar Tech Tips with me, Kenny Barnwell, professional touring guitar tech. I've teched for some big name artists and toured around the world, which means I've met a ton of people, been in a variety of situations, and made my fair share of mistakes. And I've learned a thing or two about how to adapt to the inconsistencies of the live show. I want to share with you another option, method, or trick that you can try out and see if it works for you. Today's tip, I want to show you how to build a tool that will help you remove and install a preamp on an acoustic guitar pickup. Basically, this tool here is an input jack, some heat shrink wrapping, and a guitar string. This is an excellent fishing tool for acoustic preamp installation and pickup installation, as well as those semi-hollow bodies like Gretsch, installing the electronics in them and use it as a fishing tool. In order to make the acoustic guitar slash hollow body guitar pickup electronic fishing tool, you take a 1/4-inch cable that you're not going to use, you take some heat shrink wrapping, you take a guitar string, as well as some sort of heat torch or lighter or something to heat the heat shrink wrapping, as well as a soldering gun and some solder. You start by taking the cover and the shield off the input cable. Next, you want to make sure you take all the old cabling out. I then take my input jack into the vise. I like to go ahead and pre-flow some solder on the area where I'm installing the guitar string. It's on the ground. I like to be a little bit liberal with this solder. Then take my cutters and I like to clip the guitar string right where the wounds start to go over the core. Then one thing I like to do is I like to take my guitar string, put some solder on the end of it, on the end that I'm going to be attaching, and then I go ahead and I install it and solder it right to the ground. Flow a little bit more solder on top just to secure it on there. Next, I fold over the strain reliefs. Then I take a small piece of heat shrink wrapping, enough to cover the area. I then slide it over the guitar string, covering the area. I'm using a butane torch, which has a heat torch attachment. You can use a lighter, anything to shrink the heat shrink wrapping. There we go. It's heating up. Next, when you have that done, you can fold over the hot tip, and you now have your very own acoustic guitar slash hollow body guitar, electronic, and pickup fishing tool. As you know, it's a little tricky on acoustic guitars to remove the preamp from the end pin hole without dropping some washers down inside the guitar. As well as when you're done working on the preamp and installing the preamp, getting the threaded input jack of the preamp back through the end pin hole of the guitar. Basically, to remove the pickup, I remove the strap button cover and the nut that locks it in on the outside of the guitar, and I go ahead and I plug in my acoustic pickup installation tool. Now, acting as a fishing tool, it allows me to take the preamp out with any fear of the washers falling off into the guitar. When I'm done, all I have to do is take the pickup tool that stays plugged in, fish it back through, and even with no hands, it's through the guitar. All I have to do is put the washer and the nut back on, and the preamp's back installed without losing anything inside the guitar, or with the headache of having to find the end pin hole. I'm Kenny, and that's the tech tip for the day.